What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video I decided to make because the last video that I posted about the squats did really well, and I thought I should give them more info on the squats and the form specifically. So today's video is going to be the top 5 common squat form mistakes and how you can fix them. Basically, when you have something about your squat that's not right, it's probably due to muscular imbalance or tightness in a certain muscle group, and I'm going to help you identify with whatever problem you have, what you can do to fix it and therefore squat better. I'm just going to go through my list. The first thing I wrote down was a butt wink. Now, this can, like, if you visualize someone squatting and then when they get to the bottom, their butt does this little like winking movement where it like tucks under a little bit. That's actually called the posterior pelvic tilt at the very bottom, and when you do this, or you might not even know that you do it, so I would recommend like filming yourself squat because I have that problem. I definitely have the butt wink at that bottom. So film yourself, watch the video, and see what kind of problems you have. But if you have the butt wink, it can be an indicator that you have a weak lower back and very tight abs and hamstrings. So the way you can fix that is by strengthening your lower back and loosening or stretching out your hamstrings and core, making sure that you're nice and loose. Do that before you squat. All of these fixes, after you identify whatever problem you have, I want you to try what I'm telling you. Like, do some mobility work, stretch them out, like do some extra work to strengthen the muscles that you need to strengthen, and then re-videotape yourself and see if it improves. So the first one was the butt wink, weak lower back, and a tight hamstrings and abs. The next one is when your knees collapse inward at the very bottom. If you don't drive your knees outwards, you may see visually that your knees are falling inwards a little bit. That's so bad for your knees. But the way that you can fix that is by loosening your inner thigh or your adductor muscles, where, like, it just makes sense. If you go down and your knees buckle, it's because that muscle is like tightened. It won't allow you to stretch and push outward. So loosen those inner thighs or your adductors and strengthen your glutes. So when your knees collapse, it's an indicator of weak glutes and tight inner thighs or adductors. The next squat form mistake would be your trunk falling forward. No, I thought you were filming me.
I'm not allowed to do that.
No, you can. I don't care.
Really?
Yeah, never mind. Just making me feel weird.
Should I leave?
No.
It's editable, so. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So the next mistake would be your trunk falling forward. So basically all that means is like your upper body, when you go down for the squat, it like bends forward and you do like a good morning. I had that problem too. It's super frustrating. But that's an indicator of tight calves and hip flexors and weak glutes, lower back, and core. So the way that you can improve that is by loosening your calves and hip flexors, like how I showed you guys in the last video, and strengthening those glutes, making sure they're activated before you squat, making sure you do some lower back exercises that really strengthen your lower back, and making sure that you're really bracing against your belt, tightening your core, and really using your core, not letting your stomach like just go loose during the squat, because that can really be a problem too. So tight calves and hip flexors, weak glutes, low back, and core. That's for your trunk falling forward. The next common mistake for squats is when your elbows are pointed straight back when you squat. So like you'll see people with the bar like this, and they're squatting, they're going down for the squat like that. Your elbows should be tucked down, and you should be pulling that bar into your shoulders and really tucking down and contracting your lats. So your elbows, when you go to the very bottom of your squat, should be pointed down, not back. So let's see, what could be causing that? That could be caused by weak or underactive lats and chest. So like if your lats are not activated, you're not contracting them, you're not locking them down. And it can also be from a weak chest. You know, you need to have your chest to like really hold it in place. And it can be overactive traps, which I definitely have, and rhomboids. So your overactive traps and rhomboids could be pushing your elbows back. So making sure that you really stretch out your traps, your rhomboids, making sure you do some back activation exercises, making sure your back is nice and warm, really mentally thinking about locking your arms down. It can feel a little bit weird at first if you've never squatted with your elbows down. You might feel like you're gonna let go of the bar. So expect that, don't like freak out. Maybe try it with just the bar at first and see how it feels, and really videotape yourself and have somebody watch and tell you if you're doing it right. Okay, so then the very last tip I have would be if your heels come up at the bottom, like if your weight shifts forward into your toes and your heels like come up at the bottom, that could be from tight calves, which can really, really help if you have this problem to get squatting shoes. The ones I talked in the last video, are the ones from Innovate. They're super good and pretty inexpensive. I got them on Amazon. Or you can even put like little 2.5 pound plates underneath your feet, underneath your heels if that's a problem for you too. But just stretch out your calves, make sure you roll them out, use your massage ball, do the exercises I talked in the last video. It can also mean that you have tight quads. So really making sure that you roll out your quads, your IT band, making sure that your quads are nice and loose and not like tight. And it can also mean you have very weak glutes and hamstrings. So like I said before, it's so important to pre-activate your glutes when you squat. Pre-activate your like posterior chain, which means your calves, your hamstrings, and your glutes, making sure that those are firing, not getting taken over by your quads. So that is for your heels coming up, tight calves and quads, weak hamstrings, and glutes. Woo! I got through that. Okay, I hope this video was good and helpful for you guys. Please let me know if you like these squat tip videos. I want to do some for bench and deadlift also. As you guys know, I'm a powerlifter, so I love this kind of stuff, and I've learned so much just from powerlifting about form and common mistakes and stuff like this, how to fix them. So mobility ball video is coming soon. I want to make that video like really, really good, so I'm going to take my time on it. And thank you so much for watching. I don't want you guys to forget to download my free training and nutrition ebooks. It's completely free. Not sure how long I'm going to be giving them away, so if you want to grab yours, the link is down in the description box below for you. It's the first thing there, so go ahead and grab that. Otherwise, I'll see you next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on my channel. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to see more, and I will see you guys in the next video.